Hello everyone. This is a message for people who resonate with this message. So if you call yourself a light worker or an intuitive or an empath or someone who is energetically sensitive, this is me talking to you. So if you don't resonate with any of this stuff, you don't have to watch. If you don't resonate with this stuff but you're curious, I just ask that you keep an open mind and be nice. um, so since December started, I feel like, and I feel like my energy has been really scattered, and I feel like there's an energy coming into me that is not mine. And I had that thought saying, this isn't mine, this isn't mine, this isn't mine, very subtly, like a deep knowing. But I didn't really take it seriously, and it wasn't really at the forefront of my mind. But I've had several confirmations that there has been like a wave, a pulse of negative energy to essentially get us out of that 5D state of being. If you're not familiar with what 5D means, so third dimension is a more dense, logical, practical way of thinking. It's very polarized, it's good, it's bad, and it's served its purpose for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Fourth dimension is very much emotional, astral body. It's like your dreams, it's your emotions, it's what you feel. And then fifth dimension is when you start to release from the idea of polarity and duality, and you start to see from a greater perspective. So instead of seeing something as good or bad, you instead begin to look at it from a greater truth, in more love, in that you realize that it is divine, that you realize that it is perfectly timed, that you realize that you created it, and you co-created it with others, and all the things coming to you, you kind of invited in. So I feel like I have been thrown into this spin to put me back down into the third and fourth dimensional way of thinking. And I just wondered if anyone else is feeling this, because I couldn't even go to work today. I couldn't even go to work because I just felt like it was going to be such a struggle. Like, you know, when you're feeling things that are really intense inside and you just don't want to try and hide it because you're at work and you've got to be professional and people don't want to know what's going on inside, and you don't want to be that person that's like crying or angry or just like reacting in all these different ways. And so the last week of December, I've been having nightmares, really intense nightmares. And I found it really hard to kind of get my mind out of the status quo narrative. So I believe these are like little psychic attacks. Now, for a little while, I didn't really believe in psychic attacks, but I believe that if we make ourselves vulnerable, so if you have like a hole in your aura or you've been dipping, you open yourself up to lower vibrational entities, lower vibrational energies, whatever you want to call it, psychological imprints of a lower density nature. And so psychic attacks are real. And so I've really struggled getting lost in the narrative of everything that the media is talking about. And it's like, that's one way. And the second way is where one of my personal triggers, something that I've really struggled to heal, something that I'm really struggling to find closure in within myself. I keep reaching out for validation. I keep reaching out for closure from other people who have been involved in these situations that helped manifest these triggers within me. It's suspicious energy, it's jealous energy, it's untrusting energy. And so what I feel with these psychic attacks is it's playing on me in two ways. It's with the status quo narrative that we should be in fear, that all our freedoms are being taken away, and that we are unclean and we're divided. And the other way is with my personal trigger and amplifying that personal trigger. It's so interesting that I was able to identify that these thoughts are not of my own. And to be honest, any thought that passes through your mind isn't actually your own. You get to choose whether or not you can identify with a thought. But these thoughts in particular felt very directed. They felt very well articulated. They felt very well intentioned. And I was like, whoa, it was just very strong, hyper strong, directed energy of a lower frequency energy. And it's been driving me kind of crazy. And then I've had this validation. And all of this morning, my personal trigger has just gone through the roof. And it's, I feel like if I'm not careful, it's going to start tearing like my personal relationships apart. But it's so strange because it's not really something that you can talk to anyone about, because these personal triggers, you have to work through it on your own. You have to find validation within yourself. You have to figure it out within yourself. And all morning I've been trying to find evidence. I've been trying to find validation. I've been trying to measure. I've been using my mental body. But my mental body is just sending me into this, further down into this spiral of doom and gloom, and you're alone, and everyone's out to get you. And so first of all, I just want to touch base with anyone else who's experiencing nightmares and experiencing really focused thoughts of a lower vibrational nature that don't feel like your own. And then I also want to kind of relay my fifth dimensional message from my experience with this. I keep shaking the camera so much. So obviously, if this is an intentioned thought program that is being intentioned for us to receive and keep us locked in this negative grid, then first of all, we got to change the way we look at it and realize that the light is actually coming out on top, because I don't ever recall this ever being done to me. And I feel like this is a last desperate move, because people are waking up, and the people who are trying to maintain their control over the world are pulling out every single card they have in the book. And we're still killing butt. We're still kicking ass. We are still coming out on top. We're still coming back to our breath. We're still shining our light. We're still forgiving everything that happens. And I think forgiveness and understanding is like in the fifth dimension. Forgiveness doesn't really even exist, because you don't need to forgive, because you don't judge. And so the blessings that are coming out of this experience is that I'm realizing how strong I am. I'm also realizing where I need more strength, where I need to fortify myself within my astral body, within my emotional body, within my mental space. I realize the places where I need to turn my voice of my heart up. But I'm also very, very happy with my level of discernment. Another message I wanted to deliver to everyone, it just went 9/11, weird, is that if something feels bad, if a thought makes you feel bad, if an idea makes you feel bad, if a news headline makes you feel bad, if anything brings you down to a lower vibration, it is not truth. Because truth feels good. Truth feels real. And I think it is a very, it's quite hard to break away from that, because we've basically been conditioned that like, you can't handle the truth. It's like, yes, you can handle the truth. All you need is in your tool belt, you need a special glass to look through. This is metaphysical, by the way, that can alter your perspective of that truth, because we can only see so much at in certain realities. So where you are vibrationally, where you are perspectively, makes all the difference, because quantum physics, Newton's law of physics, gravity, all third dimension, fourth dimension, and fifth dimension are happening simultaneously. And so every single truth is true depending on where you are in those dimensions, where you're focusing on. So if something feels bad, it is not your truth. If something feels bad, it is not your truth, and maybe you need to choose a different perspective. And so what I'm realizing is that my perspective, particularly about my personal trigger that has been magnified negatively to a huge amount, it was such a wave. I need to tune myself up a bit more. I've got one of my big crystals outside. It's been in the bedroom for a really long time. I keep it by my bed. It's a selenite tower that a lovely lady named Mandy gifted to me, and so I've got that in the sun, and I've got it in this special jar that I made look really pretty, and it's got sentimental value, spiritual value to me, and I've put it in water in this jar in the sun, under the sun, because it's time to tune up, because I'm getting all these heavy psychic attack waves, because obviously there's like holes in my aura. There's still things within me that I need to heal and that I need to purge. And so this is a brilliant time to purge everything and keep myself centered. Focus on my I can never say this, diaphragmatic breathing. So when you're breathing from your diaphragm, not breathing up here. If you breathe up here, that's breathing in the fight or flight zone. So you'll be breathing and stressing yourself out. So breathe from your diaphragm, expand your chest, and then close your chest, compress. Yeah, so I hope this message gets to the people that need to hear it. And I hope that you realize that you're not alone. And I felt alone, but I know that I'm not alone, because there are people out there watching this right now. And I love you so much, and we're gonna get through this. We're in between two worlds right now. We're like literally making the shift. Some people are already in the new world. Some people are kind of dawdling, and some people who are meant to be in the new world have gotten a little bit stuck because of this huge wave of negative energy. But just know that that negative energy has so much value, has so much blessing. So peace, love, and light. I love you.